Shalom, shalom. As always, we're going to start off by giving our praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakat Kadash. Double honors to the apostle and elders of Great Millstone, and salutations to the Akim that scattered abroad, that's dwelling in truth and sincerity. So we're going to be breaking down Genesis chapter 2, and this video is going to be in parts, and this is going to be part 1. And we're just going to hop right into it. And it reads, thus the heavens and the earth were finished, and all the host of them. So that means they completed creating the earth and everything high and everything beneath in the earth. In verse 2, and on the seventh day, it says God, but it really means powers, and we're going to get into it. And it's interlinear. Dang, okay, we're going to have to cut on our internet connection. Salakia, didn't know that. So we're going to back out of that. Get some internet connection. Go to interlinear. Because when it says God, it's not just talking about the Most High. It says the Most High does nothing. So that means Yahweh does nothing. He gives the orders. And it says Elohim. That means plural. As you see it right there, it says plural. Rulers, judges, divine ones, angels, gods. So it wasn't just Yahweh Shai, It was the powers, meaning Yahweh Shai and the 144,000 that was with Yahweh Shai in the beginning. And it was helping him create the worlds. You could stripulate through the spirit and understand that it was a brother who had dominion over the sea, or another one dominion creating the creatures and naming the creatures, and things of that nature. But it says Elohim. Let's
Strong's H 430 entry 1. Eloach.
It really
The second entry, Elohim.
It's really Elohim, I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, but it just means powers, it's more than one. So you got to read it as, on the seventh day, the powers ended their work, because it wasn't just one which they had made, and he rested on the seventh day from all his work which they had made. And so like, make sure I'm getting this right. And this and the powers blessed the seventh day and sanctified it, because that in it they had rested from all his work which Most High created and made, because the Most High get all the credit. Or I believe, matter of fact, that's powers, Slakia, that's Elohim, that means powers, created and made. And on the fourth one, it says Lord in capital letters, power, that's talking about Yahweh, because he gets all the credit. So like, I jumped the gun. And it just to make sure, it just wasn't one person, it was Yahweh Shai and the angels. And then the precept on that, we're gonna get St. John 1:1. St. John. Oh, so like, and it reads, in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with power, and the Word was power, and the same was in the beginning with the powers. All things were made by him. Without him was not anything made that was made, which was them, So it was talking about in the beginning was the Word, and what's the Word? Yahweh Shai. He is the Word, and the Word was with Yahweh Shai, the word was Yahweh Shai, because you got scriptures that say he is the truth, and what's the truth? It's the word. In line 2, it should be the same was in the beginning with powers, just so we breaking everything down correct. I'm trying to make sure I'm getting everything correct, because I got notes as well. And line 2, it should be powers, and the word was power. Okay. And then just to clarify, we're going to go to Hebrews 1:1. And it reads, God, who at sundry times in divine manner spake in the past unto the fathers by the prophets, hath in these last days spoken unto us by his Son, whom he appointed heir of all things, by whom also he made the worlds. So there you have it. Yahweh Shai was at the beginning, and he made the worlds, because a lot of people don't understand that. They just think they think he's talking about Yahweh, but Yahweh said he does nothing. He send out his order, and they complete what he says to do. And it says, meaning powers who at sundry times and in the Salakia, in the diverse manners spake in the time past unto the fathers by the prophets, hath in these last days spoken unto us by his Son, which is Yahweh Shai, whom he hath appointed heir of all things, by whom also he made the worlds, who being the brightness of his glory and the express image of his person, upholding all things by the word of his power, when he had by himself purged our sins, sat down on the right hand of the majesty of on high, because he was at the right hand of Yahweh. And we're going to go back to Genesis 2. Okay, and we're going to go to verse 4. It says, these are the generations of the heavens and of the earth when they were created, in that day that Yahweh power made the earth and the heavens. And the generations, you got to break down, you got to look into words. That generations mean just records. Oh, it's lucky. It really just means records, of the course of history of creation. It's not descendants. That's wrong. Results is right. Proceedings, generation, genealogies, that's all wrong. But it's the results. It's the like it says right there, it says the course of history or creation. So that's the generations. It's not that of it says these are the generations, which means these are the records of the heavens and of the earth when they were created, because it says the first day they did this, the second day they did this, and so on, So it says these are the records of the heavens and of the earth, and when they were created, in that day that the Lord Yahweh power made the earth and the heavens, because he gets all the credit, because he gave them the blueprint of what to do, and they just accomplished what he told them to do. And it's not the generations of angels, I gotta say that, because a lot of people would think that an angel came down and had sex with Mary, and she brought forth Yahweh Shai. But to cut that, we're gonna go to Matthew 22. Oh, it's lucky, that's the wrong one. Matthew 22 and 29. And it reads, Yahweh Shai answered and said unto them, ye do err, not knowing the scriptures. They do err, because they'll say that Mary got impregnated by an angel. You know, an angel came and slept with them, slept with her. So like they came and slept with her, and she got impregnated by that. But when really she got impregnated by Joseph. It says, you do err, not knowing the scriptures, nor the power of the Most High. For in the resurrection, they neither marry, meaning the angels, which is going to say they neither marry. And what's marriage? Marriage is sex. You know, that constitute marriage, which is sex. Nor are given in marriage, you know, because a father give their daughters in marriage, but are as the angels of the Most High in heaven. You know, so that cuts that doctrine of Mary had sex with an angel and she brought forth Yahweh Shai. That's not true. You know, that's why it says you do err, not knowing the scriptures nor the power of the Most High. And just to go back on that, we're gonna go to 1 Corinthians 15 and 39. It says all flesh is not the same flesh. So you got to understand that a lion has its own flesh, a bird has its own flesh, a fish have its own flesh, and we as humans has our own flesh, you know, and as angels has their own flesh. And it's gonna read right here, all flesh is not the same flesh. But there is one kind of flesh of men, another flesh of beasts, another of fishes, and another of birds. They are also celestial bodies, meaning the angels, and the bodies terrestrial, meaning, you know, humans. But the glory of the celestial is one, and the glory of the terrestrial is another. So the angel don't have to eat, you know, but a terrestrial body need to eat, you know, or otherwise you're gonna perish away, just like 2/3 in the famine, you know. So the angels and humans, you know, don't have the same flesh. It's different. You know, they is all righteous. We are in chains of darkness. It's a difference. It's a difference between the two. You know, just to elaborate more on that. We're gonna go to Genesis 2. I'm gonna read verse 5. And every plant of the field before it was in the earth, and every herb of the field before it grew, for Yahweh power had not caused it to rain upon the earth, and there was not a man to till the ground. So once again, at the beginning, it didn't even rain. You know, the reason that the herb grew was because of the mist, you know, which is what we call today dew. That's how the field, you'll walk out in the morning and it hasn't rained, but you will see that the flowers have water on them. You know, they are a little bit moist, you know, and it's gonna say it right here. And it caused it not to rain upon the earth, and there was not a man to till the ground, but there went up a mist from the earth and watered the whole face of the ground. And that's what we call today the dew, you know, because it didn't rain back then. And that's why when the prophet Noah was prophesying, he's saying it was gonna rain. That's why they believed it not, because up until that point, it has not rained that whole time. It didn't rain back in the ancient times, you know. It was the dew that went up from the midst of the earth and watered the whole face of the ground. That's how the herbs was growing and things of that nature. And then we're going to go to verse 7. And Yahweh power formed man out of the dust, man of the dust of the ground, and breathed into his nostrils the breath of life, and man became a living soul. And it says Yahweh power formed man of the dust of the ground. Why does it say that? Because the dust can mean two things. Dust can has two terms in it. It can mean confusion, because if I throw dust in your face, you're gonna be in a confused state, you know. And it can mean Salakia. And we came from the dust. Let me make sure 1 minute 7. Okay, and Yahweh power for man of the dust of the ground. Why did we come from the ground? Because every element that's in the ground, in the dust, is also already in us, you know, because we was formed, you know, by the elements of the ground, which is already in us. And breathe into his nostrils the breath of life, which meaning gave us a spirit. And the breath of life is the knowledge and wisdom and understanding of the Most High, you know, and man became a living soul. And it says, if I take, when we talking about that dust, if I take dust and throw it in your face, you would be in a confused state. And the Lord took us out of a confused state and gave us order. And what is the order? The laws, statutes, the commandments, which means he breathed into our nostrils, meaning he gave us a spirit and a breath of life, which is the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding of the Most High. And man became a living soul. And we're gonna go to I'm gonna have to read it because the Apocrypha not on this app. So we're gonna go to Wisdom of Solomon, verse 7 and 24. And it reads, for wisdom is more moving than any motion. She passeth and goeth through all things by reason of her pureness. For she is the breath of the power of the Most High, and a pure influence flowing from the glory of the Almighty. Therefore can no defiled thing fall into her, you know. So it just said the breath of life is the wisdom, you know. He breathed into his nostrils the breath of life, right? He gave us the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, and man became a living soul. You know, and she says, for she is the breath of the power of the Most High, and a pure influence formed from the glory of the Almighty. Therefore can no defiled thing fall into her. For she is the brightness of the everlasting, the unspotted mirror of the power of the Most High, in the image of his goodness. And being but one, she can do all things, and remain in herself, she maketh all things new. You know, she maketh all things new, and in all ages entering into holy souls. And it reads, and the man became a living soul. She maketh them friends of the Most High and prophets. And there you have it. And we're going to go to verse 8. And Yahweh power planted a garden eastward in Eden. Okay, so what's Eden? You know, Eden means just the earth, you know, and it says eastward. That means the eastward part of the earth. And what do we call that today? The Middle East. And Yahweh power planted a garden in the Middle East of the earth. Then he put the man whom he had formed. So that's where they were at, in the Middle East at this particular time. And we're going to go into it. Eden. Eden is pleasure, you know, because the earth is a pleasurable thing to be upon, you know. And another word can also be paradise. Let me see if it's in here. No, it's not in here, but it means another word is paradise, you know. because earth is really a paradise, but under the wicked rule of Esau, it says that when the wicked beareth rule, the people are in mourning, but when the righteous beareth rule, the people rejoice, and if the people rejoicing, the earth is rejoicing, because the earth has a spirit as well, It's and just to elaborate, Eden means pleasure, paradise. It was created for the enjoyment of man, which is earth. And eastward or Eden mean the eastward part of the earth, which is the so-called Middle East. Just to further break that down so you can get it all the way. And we're gonna go to verse 9. And out of the ground made Yahweh power to grow every tree that is pleasant to the sight and good for food. The tree of life also in the midst of the garden, a tree of knowledge of good and evil. And the tree of life and the tree of good and evil are not literally trees. We gonna go to Revelations 22. Revelations 22, 1 through 2. And it reads, and he showed me a pure river of water of life. It wasn't a actual tree. He said he showed me a pure river of water of life, clear as crystal, proceeding out of the throne of the Most High and of the Lamb. The throne of the Most High is heaven itself. So that's where that tree came out of, heaven itself. That's that tree of life. And proceeding on the throne of the Most High and of the Lamb, in the midst of the street of it, and on every side of the river, was there the tree of life, which bare 12 manner of fruits, and yielded her fruit every month, and the leaves of the tree were for the healing of the nations. And what comes in mind when it says bear 12 manner of fruits? The 12 tribes of Israel. That's what comes to mind when it says 12 manner of fruits, the 12 tribes of Israel. In the midst of the street of it, every side of the river was there the tree of life, which bare 12 manner of fruits, and yielded her fruit every month, and the leaves of the tree were for the healing of the nations. We're going to go back to Genesis 2 and verse 9. And we're going to read that again. And out of the ground made Yahweh power to grow every tree that is pleasant to the sight and good for food. The tree of life also in the midst of the garden, and the tree of knowledge of good and evil. So that gonna conclude the first part of Genesis 2. I'm gonna do Genesis 2, Lord will, the next day or after that, Lord will. So, try to soak it in, Lord will. You might have to replay it over again, because I had to stop it myself when I was learning this, and highlight things, write down your notes and things like that. But nevertheless, Lord will, you was edified and that you got something out of this lesson, something that you did not know before, So with that, we're going to give our praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakakadash. Double honors to the apostle and elders of Great Millstone, and salutation to the Akim that scattered abroad is dwelling in truth and sincerity. With that, I say Shalom.